we're a millwork supplier. Our company is set up by myself, our VP of Engineering, Cody Cushing, and lead developer, our VP Operations, Mark Hurwitz, and then we do a lot of outsourcing through Odesk. So what is IncFlow? IncFlow is a rich internet application that automates the collection and submission of trade credit applications, pre-qualifications, and account maintenance forms. A lot of you might not know what those are, so we'll get to it. When I started Schnitt Materials, I was building my business, growing the business. I had to open up a lot of new accounts with vendors, had to open up a lot of relationships with various customers, had to constantly be filling out trade credit applications and pre-qualification forms. And one of the things that I noticed was they all requested the same information. Contact information, bank account information, financial statements, insurance information, you name it, they all wanted the same stuff. So what we did was we took a sampling of about 500 of the top national general contractors and wholesale distributors, normalized that data set, and realized that 90% of the information they were requesting was exactly the same, absolutely identical from one company to the next. The only thing that changed was the format. And for people who've done administrative work, it's a nightmare. You sit there and you fill out the same thing over and over again, multiple times a year, and submit it via fax. It's a terrible process. So I thought there had to be a better way, and what I decided to do was build a CV, basically a corporate CV, give it to an administrator, and have that administrator then use that corporate CV as the basis to fill out those forms. And that's the genesis of IncFlow. The idea that all that information can be aggregated into one common unified corporate profile from all the disparate systems that are all over the office, all the locations, all the files, you can put it all together into one spot. So I think the best way for you guys to get a sense of the core functionality of IncFlow, what the features are that it enables, and the problems that it solves, to kind of walk through a use case. One of our recent beta users is a small company out of Portland. We're going to call them Beta Painting. They have about 50 employees. They do about 10 million in revenue annually, and they have about 100 customers that they regularly engage. Now, before IncFlow, these guys sent out a custom custom trade credit application for their customers to fill out and submit back to them. And at best, those applications were updated once a year. And inevitably, every year, 2 or 3 of their customers would fail. Right? They go out of business and leave unpaid balances with Beta Painting. But with IncFlow, it's different. So with IncFlow, I want to walk through a typical use case. What we do is, excuse me, I'm a little nervous, I apologize. A common scenario that you'll find, and that we'll kind of walk through, is where a new cabinet shop comes to Beta Painting and wants to have Beta Painting do all the finish for their cabinets for a large high-rise, right? So this company got a big contract to fill all the cabinets, say this office building. And they want to be able to sync up their cash flow and optimize their cash flow because they're getting paid on 60-day terms from the general contractor. And for those of you who aren't initiated, terms are when a company offers credit to another company. And so they basically say, well, you can pay this invoice within a period of time, typically 30 or 60 days. That's kind of the general rule of thumb. So we're calling them super cabinets. Let's say super cabinets goes to Beta Painting and says, look, we want 60-day terms. And Beta Painting says, sure, that's great. We'll take a look at that. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that your financial health is behind you. So we need to get you to fill out some information. And then we'll check your trade references. We'll call your current vendors, see about your payment history. We'll look at your financial statements, make sure that you're solvent. We'll take a look at your bank accounts. We'll call your banker, make sure that you've got the credit line that you need to then pay us. And then we'll make a decision as to what terms we'll extend to you. And then we'll ask that we can monitor that on an ongoing basis. Super Cabinet says, sure, that sounds great. We'll do it. And so Beta Painting reviews it, says, okay, 60-day terms, they go for it. The way that this works with IncFlow specifically is that Beta Painting will go to IncFlow. They'll invite super cabinets to join the IncFlow platform through a simple email submission. They will then, super cabinets will log on to, will find the link within their email. They'll fill out the registration form just like we all do all the time with an account profile. They'll then log in and they'll navigate to their profile form, whereby they'll fill out all the pertinent information that's normally contained within a static PDF document on IncFlow. They can then go to find companies. They can find some other vendors that they may want to maintain a credit account with. But in this specific case, they can go to notifications, and in notifications, Beta Painting's already sent them a notification that says, hey, will you please share your profile with us? And they can at that point say, reply to them and say, you know, why do you want us to share your profile? Can clarify, you know, who they are, what their intent is, or they can just grant them access to view their profile. Once they're granted access, both companies are listed in their network, and they can view that profile in real time at any point. And Super Cabinets is now, their profile is available to Beta Painting to review in full, and can review that in full on an ongoing basis. We'll get to plan features in a minute. The benefits to using the system don't extend just to Beta Painting. They also extend to Super Cabinets. Super Cabinets, or any other person submitting the form, is going to save on average about 40 minutes per submission. So if they have hundreds of vendors that they normally deal with, they can invite those vendors to join IncFlow. Those vendors can then request to view their profile, and they can save literally thousands of dollars in administrative overhead and time sunk filling out forms repetitively over and over and over again. So it's a small problem, but it saves lots of money. Some of our planned features are listed here: notes, comments, all relational to whatever object it is in the system that we're dealing with. But I wanted to highlight two. One is the automated profile update request, which will require our companies to update their profiles on a monthly basis, and we will validate and verify that that has in fact taken place. The other feature that that actually has two added benefits. From a compliance standpoint, we're going to be adding audit logs and change logs so that people who are in a highly compliant situation can have a nice change log and audit log to show whatever auditors they're dealing with. The other big component that we're working on right now is the QuickBooks connector, and with that, most of our customers deal in QuickBooks, as I'm sure a lot of you startups use QuickBooks. We're going to be able to synchronize not only the contact information of their customers and vendors, as well as their own company information, but we're also going to enable the federation of financial statements and account balances. So we can talk about security and all that later, but the meaningful portion of that is that during the account review process, or the diligent process, having that information in real time on a monthly basis, updated regularly, is going to enable all of the people that are doing the account reviews to reduce the bad debt risk and reduce the non-performance risk that they're currently suffering. Everybody allots a certain amount for bad debt. Everybody allots a certain amount for non-performance, whatever field or industry they're in. This is going to help reduce that. So what IncFlow is attempting to do is help reduce risk, increase profitability, and allow these companies to make better decisions faster. So in summary, it's an automation tool that is specifically focused on the managing the collection and submission of trade credit applications, pre-qualification forms, and account maintenance forms. So I'll take some questions. I know that was fast, but I want to get through it.
So let's say I own a troubled company, and let's say I own a troubled company. Can I elect out of being a participant in this? Because that would mean like I'm going to be producing bad news that many other people can see, and I might not want to share that with them.
Yeah, so it's just like if you were doing a paper-based system, which, and don't get me wrong, you can do this in a paper-based system, right? Problem with it is it takes a lot more time and a lot more resources. So with this, you can opt out. You just delete your account, or you can kill the connection between you and whoever you're connected to. So you can opt out, you cannot update your form, and it will quickly identify that that particular company has not updated their profile within a certain window, and it's not verified that update's taken place. So, yes?
What's your pricing model?
Pricing model is going to be on a per-user basis, and it's going to be a tiered system. We're currently in private beta, and the private beta is free right now as we work out all of our feature list. We'll probably add some of the features that you saw there as premium services based on how we, which ones we have the resources to build first, and when we plan to roll these out. So, yes?
Who's your target customer?
Target customer, that's good. It's good you asked that because I totally glossed over that. Our beta user that we've targeted for our beta user customers is a company that's sub 100 million a year and ranges between 25 and 1,000 active credit accounts, or vendors that they're pre-qualifying or maintaining within their their system.
And the vertical is it the construction vertical, or is it?
We're going to focus initially on the construction and building materials supply industry just because they have such heavy reliance on pre-qualification forms and trade credit applications, also where we have domain experience. But we're getting a lot of interest from other industries, computer, and any type. Actually, it's any type of manufacturing industry. Anybody that sells widgets. I mean, that's the way that if you want to put it bluntly, if you sell a widget, you're dealing with terms, you're dealing with qualifying vendors or contractors, and even law firms. We've actually had an incorporation service that has never been able to offer terms before, that wants to be able to offer terms to their international clients or their law firms, and attorneys that want to be able to start to profile their customers in a little bit more automated fashion. So, yes?
I really like the idea. I'm just curious why your board is so big if you're probably pre-mining.
What's that?
Oh, just like a 5-member board.
Oh yeah, these are some of my closest business associates and friends, and I value their judgment and opinion, and I think it helps to be accountable as a business leader when you have a board of that size. It is large, and we're not exactly pre-money, but the board will change. So